Wendy and Andrew, Sean Ferguson is a University of Dayton student struck down in a campus parking lot back on April 8th. He wasn't moving, he wasn't breathing. Sean, his family, and the Good Samaritans who ran to his aid are pointing to a long list of coincidences and what they're calling God moments that all played a part in saving Sean Ferguson.
You going down to the gym?
Sean Ferguson fights through excruciating pain.
Like the squats.
Hours of intense therapy at UPMC Mercy.
Whether it's trying to take that one extra step to finish your walk in therapy, the hydrotherapy where they're cleaning your burns each morning when you have to wake up for that. It's a real punch in the gut.
Somehow smiling, his fractured jaw wired shut, Sean retrains his broken body, learning how to walk again.
He pushes himself.
Physically, I am hurting, but mentally, you know, I will never be as tough as I am right now in my life.
Guided by his medical team, his family and friends, he is Sean Strong.
It's an uphill battle, but you know, you have so much support. You know, you have God's hand walking beside you, and you can do this.
His family says the fact that Sean is talking is miraculous.
Hi, I'm on the University of Dayton campus. A student just got struck by lightning in the parking lot. He's not moving.
April 8th, just after 7 p.m., two fellow University of Dayton students call 911.
Is anybody checking on him?
Yeah, someone's checking him right now. He's not moving at all.
I heard the loudest clap of thunder that I had heard probably in my life.
Engineering professor Jamie Obermeyer arrived as the students were talking to the dispatcher.
Okay, is he conscious?
Is he conscious? No, I don't believe he is.
The first thing I did was lie down on the ground and put my ear near Sean's mouth, and I couldn't hear or see any signs that he was breathing.
Okay, let me get the medics en route, and then we can do CPR if need be.
Okay, none of us here knows.
I can tell you how to do it. No problem.
So I was parked in this row back here, and he was maybe somewhere in the middle of that row.
That's when engineering student Mac Lickenbrock arrived.
His eyes were in the back of his head. It was a scary scene.
Obermeyer called out in desperation.
He asked me if I knew CPR, and fortunately I was able to say yes. 3 days before that, I would have said no.
Matt said yes because of this CPR kiosk at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Stuck with a 3-hour layover and out of boredom, Matt spent 15 minutes here learning the proper way to do chest compressions.
In those first few minutes, those are the most important, and I knew that I had to do something.
Stay with me. I'm going to tell you. Did you say they're already doing CPR?
There's one guy just got here. He's doing chest compressions on him.
I knelt down. Sean was rolled over onto his back. I got down onto his side, and I began the chest compressions.
And with his hands right, you know, between his right in the middle of his chest, started pressing very deeply and quickly and repeatedly.
His eyes were open. He was bleeding from his lip. I could see the burns in his skin. I could see some holes in his shirt from where it was burned. I could smell the burns. Just maybe 30 seconds of this kind of motion.
Matt kept the compressions going until Stephen Pope got to the scene.
It was a pretty amazing flash of light, and it was enough that everybody turned around and looked.
The nurse anesthetist was waiting for his daughter at swimming lessons across the parking lot at the Recplex. Stephen replaced Matt, continuing chest compressions, startled by the force of the lightning that hit Sean.
While I was doing CPR, I noticed that there was a copper and black cross with a chain that was laying above his left shoulder.
The lightning bolt literally blew the chain off Sean's neck and caused severe burns. Steve says Matt's quick response made the difference between life and death.
Sean would not have survived had he not.
I don't think he would have. I think it would have been a sad story instead of a celebration of life.
Medics arrived in 4 minutes, giving Sean oxygen and taking him to the hospital, where he endured several critical days in ICU.
I can't thank Matt enough for being there on scene. He was so integral to saving his life, and I don't think he quite realizes how important he was to this entire story.
Really glad that I could just do something, you know. I'm glad I had the little bit of training that I needed.
No doubt that little bit of training.
Oh my gosh.
Making it possible for Mark Ferguson to hand his son his sacred cross back.
This right here is the reason I'm here today.
Sean's sister Tara gave him that cross as a gift. He calls her his best friend, his rock. Well, this lightning strike certainly rocked his family's world. But coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, you got to watch much more the impact on that lightning strike to Sean, his family, and so many others. And Wendy and Andrew, I have to tell you, I was there today visiting him. More than 500 people have written Sean and his family letters.
Oh, my.
They'll amaze you. The things small and great that Sean has done for other people in his life. His parents said, we didn't know this was our son. And
Look at that.
And they're so close. It's a great
And
family.
all these freaky things happening all at
Yeah.
Wow.
How about this as a teaser? Tonight, how disco helped to save Sean Ferguson.
Whoa.
Yes. We'll have a story at 11 o'clock.